And I call to order the Darien Beautification Commission meeting of June 7th, 2023, 10:30 a.m., although I'm sorry it's now 10:40. My bad, room 119 in Darien Town Hall. All right, so
I didn't get that. Could you try?
the first, after call to order, we're gonna approve the minutes, which were just sent out. Thanks. Do I have a motion? Does anybody have any changes or anything? Or any updates? Do I have a motion to approve? Jackie, Colleen? All right, great. That is awesome. So, next item is treasurer's report. Is this, I printed out the one you sent, is this the same one?
The same.
Thank you. Perfect. Tracy, do you want to run through that?
Yeah, we just had a couple of expenses that we took care of. In the line account, we had an opening balance of $14,454.12. We received payments from different businesses for their share of the baskets. We paid the balance due, beds and borders, that included the freight, and we have, my calculation is $14,057.90, but Town Hall, they gave me $14,058.66, so we have 76 cent difference in our favor, and I'm going to track that down. I couldn't track it down last night. And then Adopt a Garden, we have $14.66. We received that gift from American Can for $400, so we put that in the account. We paid Elder to clean up all the miscellaneous Adopt a Gardens. We paid him $13.10, so we have a small balance in the Adopt a Garden account. Amy Smile, we had just that one charge when Elder did his cleanup. Part of his bill was the mulch that he used over at Amy Smile, so we paid that as well. So we have a balance, Amy Smile, of $8,038. So we're in good shape. You know, the end of the month is coming, and we will then be getting our new money. We need to spend some of this $14,000 down in the line account so we don't lose it. And we have a bill coming in from Elder for watering, so anything that's incurred in June comes out of this year's budget. Anything in July and forward goes into next year's budget. And we did get approved for $33,000. So we will get that in the beginning of July.
That's good.
Yeah. So on this $14,000, Elder's bill will probably come in, I don't know, probably around $2,800, because he'll probably do the whole month plus like the last couple days in May. He is on a 3-time-a-week watering schedule, and the beds up here now at Town Hall, the sprinklers are finally working, and so those are being tended to. So, but I was thinking in this $14,000, we need some tree work done at the green, up on the circle here. And I was looking at those trees because I've spent an enormous amount of time up here lately. Yeah. And I look out my window all the time as well. And I noticed those trees are really kind of getting unruly. And I was thinking we could spend some of that money to call in Kata, who has done the trees in the past. He's also our tree warden here in town. But the Kata Tree Company come in and have all those trees around the circle and in those raised beds all pruned and reshaped, and then he can take that one gross cedar out in front of the corner of the building.
Where are you talking about? Sorry, I'm...
The cedar that's, if you're looking at the front door, is to the left.
Front door of Town Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
It's to the left, and it's right in front of the tax office.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like they would love to have it taken out.
Okay.
It's gotten really unshapely.
Kata, C-O-T-T-A?
Yep.
Okay.
So...
And Tracy, so that $14,000, that will roll over? I mean,
no, we have to spend it.
Okay, so we know we have $2,800 going approximately.
We have probably $2,800 or $3,000 somewhere.
So you're saying in the next,
3
whatever,
weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
So are we able to use it to water certain Adopt a Gardens?
Yeah, and we can spend it however we need to. In our budget going forward for the new budget, We did allocate money in that budget to put some new plantings at Town Hall. So,
Don't we need some new plantings for the adopter gardens?
yes, we will, but that'll be a separate.
Why can't it be rolled over? Like we're, like, say we're not jumping into it, so.
Because, well, what
That's
happens
the policy.
if you don't spend it, then they
They
say,
they don't
oh,
think
you don't
you need
need
it."
that much.
Yeah.
And then we get less.
So say we want to plant in the fall when it's a better time to plant, maybe.
Can it
Well-
get moved into another, yeah.
Some
Okay.
money around.
Yeah.
We'll
Great.
put some,
Great.
we're gonna transfer some money over to Adopt a Garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
I think we could move at least 3,000 to that account, because if the cleanup was 1,400, if we accounted for 2 more of that would be 3,000. So
Yep.
at minimum, that amount could move there.
Okay, so what are you suggesting then? 3,000 or
At least
more?
3,000, just to do 2 more cleanups, and then if we wanted to add some for mulch. I mean,
Maybe water.
yeah, I mean 6,000 maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get a quote from the tree company too. And so between those two things and Elder's existing bill, we will spend it
Yeah.
by June 30th.
Mhm.
We will spend it.
Okay, good. Do we need to meet or anything prior to that, or do you?
I will send it once I
Are
get it.
you on that?
I guess I'm on that.
Sort of make sure it's, I don't mind who does it, but we should do it.
Once I hear back from Kata, I have the information on my desk, but once I hear back from them, I'll have them come out, take a look, give us an estimate. And once I know what that estimate is, I will let you all know, and then we can fine tune what we want to transfer.
Awesome,
Thank you.
thank you.
Do you think they'll put mulch in front of the benches? And I know we talked about that.
Wait.
Like,
In the circle?
yes.
No, we're gonna grass seed that.
We're gonna grass seed.
Yes, we're
Okay.
gonna grass seed that,
Okay.
and we're gonna get some flagstone, was that
Yeah,
was you?
that was me. That's me. Yeah.
That was you.
I got that. Yes.
So, we were gonna, in front
Thank you
of,
for the reminder.
at the circle, where those, military benches are, okay? That's always so weedy and such a pain in the neck to maintain, and we thought we could just clean that out, because there is sprinkler there. We'll grass seed it, and we will also put down 4 pieces of flagstone in front of each. Well, we'll make like a path coming from the street up to those benches, so people, because people really do sit there once in a while, they really do.
They do. I came this weekend and at the dance recital, there were tons of people in the circle sitting on the benches, reading the names that were
Yeah.
on the back of the
Yeah.
like memorials, and
Right.
there were a lot of people there.
So I
agree,
think-
grassing.
I think if we recess the flagstone down and put the grass seed, they'll just be able to mow right over it, and it won't be a weeding project for us.
Right.
I am getting some heat from Tony about what we're going to be responsible for here at Town Hall as far as maintenance. And I do see that there was in the budget, there's been money that we were supposed to allocate for some maintenance. So I'll take a look at that more closely and let y'all know about that.
Tracy, depending what your estimate is for the tree trimming you mentioned, we could even take more money and adopt a garden, like just looking out this window at the planters, we could have them professionally planted when we pull the petunias out in October for a fall planting. A company like Nielsen's or other could then come, again in December, do like a festive holiday planting. So that could be nice too.
Well, I was also thinking, the 2 front planters, when I did when Colleen and I did the petunias on them, those 2 front ones don't have the ILX and all the other ones do, and I'm thinking, well, I needed something in the middle. And I'm like, well, I don't have time to run and get ILX. So I bought some taller petunias to fill in the middle, and they will get taller. So, so that'll work in time. But maybe we could even do 2 ILX in there and then do some winter decorations in the fall.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So, anyway, but here's my budget.
All right, great, thank you. What was I gonna ask? Okay, so moving on, adopt a garden.
I'm gonna pass this list around if everyone wants to sign up. It's the same thing I emailed a couple weeks ago, but it's just the landscaping companies to reach out to. It doesn't seem like anyone had any personal connection, like they personally use them to necessarily be the designated person to contact them. So if everyone wants to just pick 2 of these companies to reach out to over the next month, that would be great. Ideally reaching out in June, and then the file that I had sent had printed on it requesting a return date for interested bids by 6:30. I'm gonna change that to, I guess, either 7:15 or 7:30. So I'll resend that out to you guys tonight, so you have a new one to send to them. But if you could just pick a couple, and then I'll send that out as well so that everyone has the contact information. And then I do think, nothing really happened with this yet, but I think that we should put something in the paper, a notice to bid. And the last time we met, I got the name of who that contact was, which is Marley.
Yeah, Marley Hayes, I reached out to her, sorry, I sort of fell through on that. I reached out to her, I got nothing back, I think she's moved on. I've sent submissions into this nebulous
Yeah.
submission things on Darien Times, hear nothing back. I've done this a few times. I've been like reaching out to Park and Rec to see if they have contact, I got a name.
Yeah.
It was the wrong email address, I'm trying again, so any advice?
I
is
did
helpful.
get something from Marley
Great.
2 days ago. She asked me, because Monica asked Kate Bush, who was in charge of the hanging baskets.
Oh,
So they kind of sort of circumvented back down to me. So then Marley sent me an email the other day, asking me about the history of the baskets and the cost and so forth.
Okay.
So I put together, and I will forward it to all of you so you have it as
Great.
well. But I responded to, she wanted to know who maintains them, the cost and so forth. So I laid everything out for her. So she said, oh, great, it's supposed to go in the town newsletter. So,
oh, right.
yeah.
Town
And then,
That's great.
yeah.
Excellent.
So that gives
That's
us a
great.
little,
So you
little
have-
visibility.
Okay, great. Quick thing, Colleen, while you have that list, I have already reached out to Hoffman. So
Yes,
that
I
may-
made a note.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
wait, sorry, not Hoffman, I think Good to Grow, which
Okay,
Colleen is.
so that,
Did they say they
You
were
can
not
just-
interested, good to go?
Correct.
And same for Hoffman.
Right.
no, they were gonna reach out to their manager, and then I
Okay.
reached out again yesterday, I haven't heard back yet.
Okay,
My contact was away
So you could fill in
for
your
a week.
name on that one then, and.
I will, I just didn't, since I'll get it last, I
Yeah.
just thought okay, so that's great, town newsletter, and you got a contact, and you'll send that out, that's perfect. So I've got a couple other names, because I've been trying to get some other things, so, anyway, we'll just keep sharing ideas.
Colleen and I walked the beach area, and that Adopt a Garden needs weeding. How do we put it, do we put it
At
on
Pear
the-
Tree?
Yes.
No, is it Pear Tree? Oh, yeah, it's before the boat club.
Yeah,
Yes.
the large, like,
Yes.
long one.
Yeah, with the bench.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Power Squadron had
Yeah,
had
that
that
is-
one, and it wasn't really listed as one of our official Adopt-A-Gardens, but
Right.
we had a sign there. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
when that all
added that when
transpired.
you pointed that out, so
Yeah.
now that's on the list. Let me make a note of that.
I don't even know who's on the Power Squadron. If
I saw them in the Memorial Day
Yeah.
parade. Elizabeth,
Yeah.
did Elder find any downed signs that he turned into you at the end of his
Yeah,
April project?
I wrote an email, but it was a while ago and nobody responded, so I was gonna resend it again, but I have them all in my shed.
Okay, sorry, I must have missed it.
Yeah, I have a ton in my shed,
Okay.
and actually, I was thinking maybe I'd take a picture of them and then see for the future which ones
Yeah.
we can keep. And then, I don't know, like, can we recycle signs? I don't know.
Mhm.
But I'll take a picture of each one,
Okay.
so at least we can reuse, I hope, a few of them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
aren't we changing?
I don't
the
think
sign?
Yeah,
so.
we're
I
changing
think we're
them
changing the
anyways,
sign.
but
Oh, so
just to
should I
know
just get
which
rid of them
ones.
all?
We got an email from the sponsor of the garden by the Darien Fire Station. They noticed their sign was missing, but they
Oh.
didn't notice that we had on our own expense done, I think one of Elder's longest cleanups was
Yes.
spent there.
That was the first one, yeah.
But they were curious about their sign. So I explained to them, we're changing the signs, we're changing the program, we'll be in touch later this summer. But that way we know, just if someone else reaches out wondering where their sign is, we'll know which ones.
They noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised the Board of Realtors hasn't noticed theirs too. 'Cause
Yeah.
Theirs was over by the,
Right,
by Post Pizza there.
yes. Okay, that's all I have, so then I'll send out just a electronic version of this sign-up sheet for everyone, and then I'll resend out the guidebook with the change of response date to July.
And do we have a little booklet to give to these, if they ask for some
Yes.
information?
Yeah,
So we just print it out and, I mean, I find it easier just to go to them
Yeah.
personally. I mean,
They were so busy when we first.
yeah,
They
the
were-
timing was not
great.
ideal. So hopefully over the summer and then doing some fall plantings, that would help. I know the Garden Club is very anxious to assist the Corbin District with sponsoring the Exit 11 one, the same one that we were talking about. So everything's in process, but hopefully the companies, I would think now that they've done their mulching work and spring cleanups and they're just kind of on a mowing routine, are more accessible.
I do think it'd be nice for them to put in a Dr. Garden, or a garden there at
Yes.
exit 11 once the tree comes down.
Yeah.
So, maybe pretty,
Yeah.
That tree.
that tree.
And those signs
You're
were so
never-
nice, the picture you sent
Oh,
from Westport,
yes.
Yeah.
how they were different.
Yes.
That was such a
And I'll
cool
also
idea.
follow up with the roads department, because regarding the curbs, we have 3 gardens with really bad curbs.
Yeah.
We can't retain the mulch.
It can't retain it, and one thing I
Right.
noticed, I sit at the near Water and Post Road one a lot because I've got a kid at Henley, and even that sign, it's deteriorated so much that at one point the sign was stuck in a cement block. The cement block is now just sitting on top of the garden. And that, whoever is the sponsor of that, or I'm guessing it wasn't like a neighbor, but they did mulch it about a week ago, and clean
Which
it up
one
a
is this?
little. This is at
Really?
near Water and Post Road.
I noticed that, yeah.
So it does look nice, but you can, I mean, it's just like a mound on top of barely there curbs. So when, at the time that I reached out to him, it must have been January, he said follow up in kind of now, like in summer, so it was a few months out. So I'll circle back with him.
That one for years.
There's just a lot that are,
What
could
happens
use
if they
some help.
just don't have time for it? Is there any
I don't know.
city that can intervene?
I don't know.
Okay.
The adopted gardens, if they don't.
No, we're talking about the curbs.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
do they have to be done by DOT or the state?
I
Like, what
bet, it
happens
must
if
be a
they?
contract, I
It
would
depends,
think.
it depends what road they're on. If they're on a state
State road,
road,
then
it's
it's
state.
state
If
does
it's
it.
town, it's town.
Well, and I wonder how, so 2 of these that are in need of it are on, they're not technically on Near Water. One's on Hollow Tree as you're meeting the post road, and the other one is on Near Water as you're meeting the post road, but they're technically not on the post road, but I don't know. But it seems like such a shame to plant them and then
Yeah, they can't help.
there's
it.
no like protection there, and even this mulching that was recently done, like it's on the road because it's like
Yeah.
if it's windy, it's just, nothing is like protecting it. But I did like that Westport sign, and I saw another one in Port Chester recently, just, you know, some creative ways. And I also thought it was interesting that the Westport garden that I snapped a photo of was sponsored by basically their, the rep for
Yeah.
that district, so that was kind of an interesting
that is.
angle as well.
Getting back to the curbs, if they didn't do them, I mean, I wonder if we get creative and say, if you don't do them, we are going to have to put rocks on the inside.
Right.
Which they wouldn't like either, because that could be dangerous if people
Dangerous.
hit them.
Or at least
But maybe that
even-
gets them moving, I don't know, just thinking
Yeah.
of how to get it done, but.
Yeah.
And
hopefully
I don't
we
know
won't do
when the
that.
budgets are like written or approved, I can't remember offhand, but I
We
reached.
submit the budgets in November.
Okay, so then if I reached out in January, it was after that, but at least if it could even get submitted in that department's November budget to be done in the 24-25 fiscal year,
At least
you know,
we do
there's no
something,
reason
right.
not to it. And these particular ones aren't, you know,
Oh, that's one you're.
they're
Yeah.
desperately in need of it. It's not like picking and, cause there's like
Oh, and
paint
pick
And
chip.
by this Henley School too, I mean, that's such a visible one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would
I
think.
noticed the town hall needs curb work. Is that the town that does that? Is that, what budget does it come out of?
I don't know, not ours. I don't
Yeah,
know.
not ours.
I don't know, I'm not sure, I could ask to ask Tony Campanella, whose budget that comes out of. I had wanted, Juliet and I had approached Tony about even like at the bottom of our slopes, to even put Belgian block on the bottom or bricks to kind of hold our mulch back so it didn't, come down down the road. He goes, oh no, that wouldn't be safe. Children could jump off that. I'm like, they're not gonna jump off the cement walls up here?
Yeah.
They're gonna jump off a 4-inch
Yeah.
rock?
Well,
So-
there is a page online under this department, because I was looking into it for my house, because I have a big hill in the front, and it lists kind of specifics to qualify for if you're like a resident and you want curbs installed, so I would think there must be some parameters, but if it doesn't work for them to get fixed this year, I would love to press them to incorporate it into their budget.
Right, no, that would make sense. I mean, I've even been trying to get them to put the cement breakers down on the bottom, by the bottom of our hill, those handicap spots, because I can't tell you the number of elderly people who park on the curb, park on the sidewalk.
Right.
Come all the way up, and they're almost touching our garden. It's like,
Oh.
you need to stop a little sooner.
Right.
So, no.
No tennis ball.
No tennis ball hanging from the oak tree. If you break your windshield, you really went too far.
Okay, great. So, next item is the open positions. So we have 9 people on our commission, 9 spots on our commission, 7 people here. I reached out to Linda O'Leary about the open position. She said that she had 3 completed applications, 1 almost complete application, and I had reached out to her because I knew of another person who wanted to start the process. So we have interest. They were waiting for the Board of Selectmen meeting to vote those people in that had been through the process in completion and choose 2 of them. And I haven't heard any update on that, except I heard from a Park and Recs Commission member that she met somebody that just got voted onto our group. So
Who is the person? Do we know the name?
the name,
Michelle?
it could have been Michelle, yeah, hold on, let me tell you.
Does this mean that they still interviewed 3 and picked 2?
So that's the thing, I have no information.
Well, 1 dropped, right?
I don't know. Or one of those, okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I wasn't given any names. So I was told there were 3 completed applications, 1 that was an incomplete application. And Melissa Kelly,
Right.
is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Melissa
Not
Kelly.
Michelle, Melissa.
She and her boys came and she said she was recently nominated to your commission. So perhaps she's gone through, I don't know. That's all.
Yeah, she was nominated by the RTC a couple months ago.
So she
The big
still
holdup
needs to
right
be
now, they're
away.
trying to fill the commission for Great Island. And until they fill that slot, I've heard that everything else is just kind of on hold. So, and there are, I guess, 8 commission members, there'll be 8 people that'll be on that commission.
And I watched one of the recordings, they said they had, I think, 45 applications or
Yeah.
something, so they were sorting through them. That's great, there's a lot of interest. So that is the update.
And then does that just mean that she'll be at our next meeting, I guess?
Well, there's no reason why we couldn't invite her to a meeting
Yeah.
anyway.
She can come,
She can
even
come
if
as a
she's.
guest.
Well, that's what's
Yeah.
nice, if we had names, we could reach out.
Reach out, and they could get to know us, and maybe they would pull their applications, who knows?
How about I follow up with Linda, I'll say I heard through the grapevine that this person has been nominated, would like to invite her to join us, would you be able to share any information? And go that way.
Melissa
Okay.
Kelly had been a landscaper, and she was from
I
Canaan, and
know.
her specialty is containers.
So she
So
actually
cool.
reached out to me with questions after the RTC had nominated her. So she's not a landscaper. She has a small business that she started doing last year, helping her landscaper plant seasonal pots. Because she was actually wondering if that would be a conflict of interest, being that she's doing this like, kind of almost for fun on the side. So that's I don't believe she's a landscaper
Right,
by
right.
trade. I think it's like a recent hobby in the past
Right.
year. Because they just moved to Darien, I think about a year and a half ago.
Right, they were in New Canaan, I think, before that, or?
Boston, maybe?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the grapevine's not always accurate.
Beach Jacket Foundation update. The update is that it was installed over Memorial Day weekend. There was a beach cleanup last weekend, and it's looking good. Yay! So we have buckets. I'm gonna store the extra. I'm assuming we're gonna have a few go missing very quickly in the beginning.
Shame.
I know, but she actually made extra buckets, and we have those. I'm gonna store them in my garage. Going forward, I don't know who the onus is gonna fall on to maintain, update it. I mean, I'll definitely keep an eye on it and all that. But we got some nice press out of it. Our logo is on the buckets with
Nice, thank you.
with the Park and Recs logo. So that's that.
Is it year round or does it go away in the winter?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna stay there. I mean, if the Park and Rec Commission decides to remove it, that would be on them. And they have the guys who go and are gonna empty the trash can and oversee it, theoretically. So that really falls more into their category,
You
but.
might want to take the buckets in for the winter, though.
Yeah,
Leave structure out there, but.
Although, in the winter is when we need those buckets too. And in the way that.
People still use the beaches in the winter.
Yeah, for sure. And the way that the Scout designed this, it's really cool. The buckets, you kind of have to tilt them sideways and get them in, and they're really sort of secure in their cubbies. And there's not a lot of extra airspace, so they shouldn't go flying around. I mean, if there's a hurricane coming, who knows? But
Yeah, maybe we could take leave 4 there and store them upside down or.
yeah.
Pictures look great.
Yeah.
Look like super events.
Mhm.
So
Fabulous.
that's good. So yay. And hopefully we can get more of those. Hopefully it's a success and we can put more in other parks and public spaces. So we'll see. But they were very grateful to our commission. So thanks everybody. So yay.
Oh,
Yay
that's
up.
another item, that you needed money.
Yes, I do
So-
need money. That's right.
So
Thank
you need to get me an
I need
invoice.
to get you an invoice
It's
for
like
that.
$200 or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No taking no shirting, like for laundry.
And I will get you an invoice for beach buckets. Yes, thank you for that reminder. Perfect. Okay. Juliet had reached out to me about 2 upcoming ideas to partner up with Pollinator Pathway. The first one is that they're doing they're going to have a table at the Darien Pride event, which is this upcoming Saturday. They're going to have a table there from 12 to 4, and the Pollinator Pathway is going to be giving away native plants.
Yeah, it's
they
Sunday.
moved-
Isn't it Sunday the 11th?
What time is it?
She said Saturday, but then it showed the 11th. Yeah,
You're right. And I haven't
We'll have to clarify that.
You're right.
okay.
Yeah, you're right, thank you. Sunday. Sorry, Jackie, what was your
No,
question?
I got it.
Okay, and you guys got were you able to pull some things from the slopes? Were you-
I know Julia's been pulling a bunch, she's
Okay.
been doing some things.
Okay.
Colleen, you helped.
And
me.
Colleen
Did you
helped.
do it, Colleen?
Yeah.
Right,
And-
thank
I
you.
think she said she had like 80 plants or
Yeah.
something, so
Okay,
she has to replant them to give them away.
great.
Right,
But the slopes look great. I thought
Yeah,
they looked good.
they look awesome,
Great.
and
They
they're
look much
freshly
better.
mulched.
They look good.
Yeah,
Great.
they look really nice, the water's on, they look great, they're all pruned.
That's great.
You did a great job Saturday. You must have finished up the bag of Hollytone too, right?
She has the rest of the Hollytown. I gave it to her. She put it in her truck. She said she was going to give it to you.
Oh,
There
okay.
wasn't much left. There was maybe a handful or 2 left.
Did you
So-
finish up the?
Uh-huh. I did all of it.
Oh,
I did.
okay, I must
Oh,
have done
that's
heavier.
great work.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we
Good,
did that.
because we put Hollytone around all of the
Thank you.
hydrangeas and rhododendrons, so.
Great, thank
In
you.
anticipation of the rain last weekend.
Which
that
never
didn't come.
happened.
I know, we need some rain. Okay, so the plant collection is done, thank you. And then, is anybody able to be there? Does anybody want to sit
Yeah,
at the
we're
table?
I'm gonna be there, Colleen, you're gonna be there too, right?
I am,
Okay.
I don't think I'll be there for the whole day.
Right.
For 12 to
Yeah.
4, but I'll be there, I can go for a
Okay,
little bit. sure.
same, me too, I can go, do you wanna sort of alternate hours, you wanna pick
Sure.
a couple hours?
Sure.
You guys let me know what you want, and I'll do the others, or whatever,
All
or
right,
we can split them up 3 ways, but,
Yeah.
that way we've
because
covered.
it's 12 to 4, so we
12
can
to 4.
easily split that up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
Is
we're
she gonna
going,
be there?
She's gonna be there too.
She's gonna
yeah,
be there.
and we're going
Yeah.
Thursday night, to label the plants.
Yeah.
So
Great.
Colleen and
Thanks.
Elizabeth and I.
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yeah, I'm
Great,
happy to
thanks.
do that.
Do we
So-
need a tablecloth, have you guys ever, do we need a tablecloth or anything else?
I think Juliet's taking
Do we
care
need
of
a
all that.
sign?
Sign
Well,
would be
that's what I was
good.
gonna say, you know what?
Good.
They have a nice pollinator pathway sign, and she said, you know, you guys should really think about getting a banner, because like next year, we can march in the parade if we want. Like, we can use a
I know,
banner.
I thought of that this year.
So did I, actually put it as I want to bring it up in our other business.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
I think-
Okay.
But I can make a sign, I can make a sign for, you know, just a sign for something.
Well, we have a little extra
budget.
money, we can
Yeah.
go to not Kinko's, what is it?
Yes,
UPS does it too, we
Yeah,
can make a
either
banner,
one.
we've got a logo.
yes. we
I mean,
should.
if they can get it made before Saturday, I'll do that. I've got the logo, I'll see if we can get one made.
And just send me the invoice.
And then I can send you the invoice, is that
Yeah.
right?
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
And then we'll have something.
Yeah, I think you should.
And
That'd be so
it
nice.
would be something we can do either, what do you guys think?
I think it.
Like this sort of plasticated flag type
Yes.
thing?
Just see
Like
if
a
you're
banner.
staying at a cart table, you want it to
Yeah.
be.
Like
Yeah,
a
great.
4 foot by 3 foot or something.
Yeah, something, our logo is kind of squarish.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll,
Oh, right.
And you know, we could use it too for other photo opportunities, you
Yeah.
know, when
Yes.
we're doing like a cleanup or if
Exactly.
we're doing the hanging baskets, we can have
Yes.
the banner. So when they do put the pictures in the paper and stuff, it's there. So,
All right.
I said to Marley the other day, she when she reached out to me, I said, Marley, can you just spell my name right though, if it's going to print? Because I'm a pain in the neck, I'm an EY.
yeah, no, that's, well, I have no T, so.
I always want to put you in there.
I came just because I didn't have anything going on and my own garden is, whatever, it sounds right. A lot of people have complimented on how it looks really nice here. The slopes look great, the circle, the roses that are off and
I know,
it's
I
kinda
cleaned
nice
all those
to-
out last week.
Yeah.
I
they're
want to
great.
get to that, I took photos of it today, it looks
They look
great.
really
Oh,
great.
good.
Alicia, I might send
And
you
it's
some
getting mulched
pictures.
on Friday. It's getting
Oh,
mulched.
okay, I was
Wait till
gonna
Friday.
send, okay, wait till
It'll be
Friday,
Friday,
because
it'll
I
be
thought Alicia could post social
Yeah.
media.
Because the guys are gonna mulch that on Friday when there's no traffic.
Oh, okay, great. I will work on see if we can get a banner. If I can't get one, do you mind making a sign? I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll make a sign.
Okay, but to hold on.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get a banner.
Okay, I mean, it's not gonna be a
Or
great
something.
sign, you know,
No.
I'm not an artist.
No.
We'll,
Okay.
we'll be fine for
Oh,
something.
good.
I'm a
No,
gardener,
it's
not an
something.
artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So that is the Sunday Pride event. And the other item that Juliet brought to us was the Pollinator Pathway Garden Tour. And so she just sent me a link that we're on the website. So that's cool. Darien is on the Pollinator Pathway map. And I guess I don't totally understand this one. I guess the tour people come by, I don't know the hours.
Did anybody go to it? I'm curious what the attendance was last year for it as well.
There were only a few people. I mean, I think Juliet was there, right?
I
Yeah.
remember
does
it being
one
kind
do?
of quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know that it was publicized that much.
yeah. But I mean, even if you're staying there,
Yeah.
I guess you just say, and this is, I don't know.
I don't know.
But maybe
And the
we'll get
gardens
some
look
guidance.
so much better than they did last year, because last
Yeah.
year they were just recovering from that whole thing with the staircase,
Mhm.
you know.
I would think if anything, one person being there, but I've gone to a lot of garden tours on a larger scale, and there's usually, you just walk through it or, check it out at leisure, not, I guess unless someone on this commission is super educated on the plantings and if their history, if they're native,
Maybe
to
what
add
we
value.
do,
Value to it.
maybe what we do is we just demark whatever, put a mark on the spot, maybe our banner, maybe their banner,
Yeah, the
whatever it
banner
is.
could
Maybe
be
we have a little
great.
card table set up with flyers, I don't know.
Right.
Well,
I
we
don't
do have our
really know.
sign. We have our sign at the base of the
Yeah.
garden now.
Oh, so.
And it
Yeah, and
outlines
it
what's
explains
planted in there, and they're
Oh,
all natives.
yeah.
and
Oh, okay.
On the hill, it's all natives.
Okay, so I'll follow up to see what Juliet has in mind. I don't really have a grasp of that one.
Mhm, same.
And I guess I'll just email you guys.
I did want to, on that note of garden tours, this could be fun to do next year as a commission, and maybe Jackie and Amanda, you've been to this before, because I know you're more dialed into the Greenwich community, but the Greenwich Botanical Center is having their Granda Flora big garden tours. I think it's this Friday and Saturday, and last week the Greenwich Historical Society had theirs. You go to their Instagrams, it was stunning. So you're going through people's personal gardens, but that are just amazing. That could be something fun to do, and also for inspiration to check out next year. The timing is a bit tricky just with end of school and busyness, but I think it'd be great to
Is it
go to
Greenwich
those.
Historical Society?
Yeah, well, Greenwich Historical Societies was last week, and then this 9th and 10th is the Greenwich Botanical Centers. So it's home gardens, but
In
it's
both cases are private.
yeah,
Okay.
private, but anyone can go. They use it as fundraising. They've got tons of big names, corporate sponsors that assist with it, and they do fun stuff, like they have, picnic lunches at one location, so they really make it an interesting day. I just wanted to share it. I wish I could go.
Do you know if Greenwich still does that antiquarius?
They do.
They do.
I think it alternates years of winter and summer, but I'm not sure.
That needs to be fun.
I think Antiquaries was done by the Historical Center.
Yeah. And had a lot of corporate sponsorship too.
But from what I remember from this tour last year, I remember maybe Juliet reported back that it was quiet, but people did stop by.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I'll find out if we need anything for it, manpower, anything.
Okay.
But,
You know,
I'll
that
report
could-
back.
No, I didn't even think about it. That could have been something that Marley could have put in the newsletter too.
Mm.
what is the date for the garden tour? End of the month?
I think she wrote me a text, it's 24th. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a time either. I think it just kind of starts and ends. I think it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the day,
Yeah, I don't have
which
a
makes
time.
it very hard to staff. I don't know how we're
Yeah.
gonna staff that.
I'm not here then, but
Right,
I
yeah,
can't
no,
imagine
no,
just
yeah.
sitting there for
No,
6 hours
no,
to
that's-
just say hello to
That's-
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if there's already signage there, I don't know. So I'll find out from Julia what she thinks. I don't know if she just wanted approval. I don't know. I'll find out. I'll get more information. Should we move on? The next thing I had on here is end of year report. So Juliet sent last year's. I was going to put together this year's. I started making a list of what would go on it based on just scrolling through Instagram and what I knew. But if you guys can just, and I didn't bring my list, I'm afraid, so if you guys can just tell me anything that you would like added to that end of year report.
This
And I'll-
is what you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then for this year, I mean, I can easily go through Instagram and highlight those things that we focused on. Is there anything else? I mean, anything I wouldn't know? I think I started in October. Is there anything I need to know from July to October? And I can go through minutes too. I
I'll look
just-
back and.
If something just
Yeah.
jumped to somebody's head, I'm happy to go through minutes.
The
I'm happy to go
projections, did
through-
she send you her listing on the beautification projections for this fiscal year?
No.
I have that. I
Okay.
can send you that.
Okay. Okay, so that's that, I'll take care of that. I'll send a draft to you guys before doing anything with it. And then I'll get that out.
When do you have to turn that in?
So I'll look back. I think it's either end of this month.
Oh, so
So-
at like the year
I
end?
think so. That's my understanding. So I'll get working on that soon. I'll send you guys a draft if you want to change anything. Let me know, and then we'll get it off. Next item, Jackie had a great idea of like, what should we talk to other beautification commissions? pick their brains. I love the idea, I've been thinking the same thing myself.
That's great.
And I was wondering whether, I think it's just a sort of a friendly outreach type thing, really. So I was wondering, when I did research online, it looked like Greenwich, Glenville in particular, had a beautification. It looked like Rye. I found one in Michigan in Grosse Pointe.
Port Chester has like a fairly active
Do
one.
they?
Did
Yeah.
you follow them on Insta?
I do.
I do.
Oh,
It's Palm
great.
Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
great.
just tried to find like any out there.
Yeah.
Port Chester, I tried emailing it to you guys, but the photo was too large, so it's still in my outbox. They're doing something interesting. They're launching a new initiative this summer, and it's art installations. So I thought it could be an interesting idea for us to keep in mind in some of the Adopt a Garden locations. So it's permanent art installations, and it can be from students. It doesn't have to be like
I think it's great.
high-profile
cool.
artists. But I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe later, again, this summer, some of us could go check it out, or
Yeah.
if you follow them on Instagram, let me look at what it is.
Sounds like
It's
lunch at Pasquale's.
PC.
What'd you say?
Sounds like a lunch at Pasquale's. In Borges.
There's
Um,
another one in Fort Erie in Canada. They do a beautiful job.
Would we want to divide up certain towns and people just call, like find contacts and just, do you guys want to do it that way, or what do you think is the best way of
I think it'd be nice
outreach?
just to find a place to meet and just say, would anybody from your beautification committee like to join Darien and like just have a meeting place for everybody to go to?
The schedules might be hard.
Yeah.
You might have to
Oh,
do
you're right.
one
Give
of
them an
them
option.
first, at least over the summer.
Mhm.
If you,
Yeah, and there's travel involved, because if we're talking, you know,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
if you want to follow the Port Chester one, it's PC, Beautification Commission, and the New Canaan one is NC Beautification League.
I love it.
Yeah, NC Beautification League.
I wonder how they got a league instead of commission.
Yeah. The New Canaan one has they seem to do some fun things, and they're fancy, like they have,
Well, New
I
Canaan's
think
not
they've
that
got a
far. We
graphic
couldn't-
designer
yeah.
on their league.
I actually have a call into somebody that knows Greenwich. So
Great.
I could take.
I love this idea. I think it's so, I mean, why not? It's just like outreach and sharing
Yeah.
ideas and no
And even
harm.
like this, I know you probably can't see it, but like for Christmas, they made like, Santa hats and gnomes out of the planters.
that's
So
so
they're,
So cute.
Cute.
they seem
Great.
to have like a lot of fun with their league. So,
That's a great idea. All right, well,
Sarah, that kind of ties into something we talked about a few weeks ago about having like a contact list, not only of other beautification commissions, like what's their Instagram, is there an actual person we know of, but also these other intergovernment committees like Parks and Rec, Roads, just having, that binder that's got who we should try to meet with, or if one of us wants to watch their monthly meeting and kind of report in on it, just to kind of build the partnerships and get a sense for what other people are doing. I think that could be really helpful.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's right, we did talk about it, and I don't know that we've actually sort of moved forward with it. So let's keep that on our sort of a list of, let's keep it on our agenda and keep addressing that.
And even for
And
your
maybe
end
just
of
keep
year
building that.
report, you could mention that we've began to create, to document these things and
That's great.
a goal for next year. I don't know if you have to include
I like that. I like
Didn't we
that.
used to collaborate with the Greenwich, Tracy, you would know this. There was some sort of a flower exchange that we did with the group in Greenwich. We either donated flowers to them or they to us. Do you remember this?
I never heard of that.
New Canaan, I worked with someone who loved our baskets, and she asked me for all that contact information, and so we swapped that information. And that was New Canaan. And I think maybe somebody in Greenwich reached out to me about our hanging baskets.
It was some smaller group, and it was exchanging flowers, and these points contributed to our, I think it has to do with sustainability. But the fact that there was the collaboration between the two groups, and it could even been something like the Greenwich Historical Society or the Garden Club. I think it was the Garden Club.
Miss Juliet was in
Yeah,
the garden
I
club.
bet it was the garden club.
Yeah. And I don't know, is that over now that we've lost Juliet, or?
No, she wants to be involved with us, but she doesn't want to be tied to the meetings, and she doesn't want to be a chair, you know,
Right.
but she's still, you know, you'll see her on any given day, she'll be at the slopes, thinning things out, or pruning.
Yeah.
You know, and she even offered to help us at the berm, but she couldn't that day, and,
Yeah.
you know, so.
She's not on garden club anymore
Yeah.
either. But does anybody else
Garden
know
club's
anybody in
huge.
garden club?
I spoke with 2 of the members when they reached out to me about sponsoring the Exit 11 garden.
Oh, right.
But we talked for about an hour, but it was over the phone. So
Mm.
none of the names are familiar to me.
Yeah.
The only thing with garden club is, anyway.
Yeah, maybe that's not fun. All right, well, I like it. I feel like we've got a lot, but I like it, and I think we need to keep that warm. I was thinking to myself, oh, I'll volunteer to go through all the websites, but I think I have enough other things on the plate right now. But let's keep working on that. I've been trying to meet people in other groups, so we'll just keep
Yeah.
trying to branch out.
I have to leave later.
Yeah.
I have to run to an appointment. But
Okay,
I will
thank you so much,
look for
and my
updates.
apologies that I.
Yeah, no worries.
Sarah, sorry,
Yes.
one last thing
Yeah.
on that. If you don't want to go on Instagram to the NC Beautification League, if you go to newcanaanbeautification.org, they do extremely similar stuff to us. They call them triangles, but it's their roadway medians that are their adopt-a gardens. They have 30. They have a program called Traveling Trowels, and that's basically like berm cleanup, things like that, where people can, and they recruit just, I think, normal citizens or kids that need volunteer hours to do that stuff. They have a hanging basket program. They take care of town hall as well. They have a holiday greens program, and then I think they put on flower arranging classes, which is really just, you know, good marketing, like holding those to get people to come. Anyway, so it's a great website, and they're able, I don't know if we're able to, but they're able to accept donations from the public. So I think that's why, I think for us it's aspirational to look at what they're doing, because I don't know if they have any government funding, but they have a lot of private donations, it seems. So everything they do looks to be very buttoned up. So in terms of meeting with someone, that could be easy, both because of proximity,
Agreed.
and they seem to be in a good, you know, spot, well ran.
It was great. All right, great, thanks.
And that's New Canaan.
And that's
Yes.
New Canaan, and we could meet them. That's easy.
And hopefully they'd be friendly about it all, you know? Because a lot of people from New Canaan come through Darien to do a
Right.
lot.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they come to Darien more than we maybe go to
Yeah.
Canaan.
Sounds like we should talk to Westport about how they got their groups done.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Also, the New Canaan Beautification, they send out a newsletter monthly.
Wow.
So I don't know how many
Active.
people are in the organization, but.
They have 227 hanging baskets.
Oh, wow.
We've been up there. We have been up there. We've scaled back.
33
because of
traffic
construction.
You know what, Sarah, if you go to the June
It's a really good
23 newsletter that was just published, this is recapping kind of what they did all year.
Okay.
So, and some of it is similar to ours, like they're talking about the 200 hanging baskets, garden visits, and this does list contacts for their co-presidents, but anyways, it looks like a nice recap and great ideas as well.
All right. I'll try and reach out to them. I'm gonna say I'd let, yeah. Do you want to do it, Jackie?
Yeah, we'll do it together.
Awesome.
Wow, it's
Awesome.
Coordinate.
Awesome. Jackie, why don't you do it and then let me know. You
Okay.
run with it and let me know if you need anything from me. I'd love to, just, probably
New
easier
Canaan,
just.
Greenwich, Westport.
Yeah,
Let's just do those.
that's
Okay.
amazing, yes.
They may be busy, but.
They may be
Yeah,
busy
but
or you may get blown off or whatever, but it's a
I
start.
tried to do it actually a long time ago with Stamper, just to understand,
great.
because they have a really interesting public-private relationship,
Yeah,
and it's difficult to communicate. It's hard to get a response, but
Yeah.
I think they do a good job.
yeah, I agree, that's awesome, that's great,
And New
thank you.
Canaan has something they call informal garden visits, so that kind of makes me think of this stop on the pollinator pathway garden tour, like, you know, if you call it informal, it's kind of almost what it is, without someone sitting there to give a talk for the entire day.
Offering you
That's a
tea
good
or
idea.
Yeah.
Informal.
Yes.
Yeah.
mid tulips.
So they're a league just because it's not a commission.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I don't
Not-
know.
I think-
Maybe it's how it's funded, maybe
must
that's
be.
why, it's not government
Private,
funded,
not
it's
government
private
funded.
funded,
Yeah,
maybe.
Interesting.
They have a great site though.
I
I'm
know.
kind of envious
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, well, the newsletters are beautifully written, their
Yeah.
Instagram, they've clearly got a graphic designer on the league,
That's cool.
yeah.
They all have t-shirts.
Sarah, I have to leave in about 5 minutes. so I
Okay,
just didn't
great,
wanna
let's
run
jump
out.
on to any additional business.
I think we've covered a lot of additional.
We've covered a lot, we've
I
covered a
have
lot.
one point,
Yeah, go
someone
ahead.
mentioned Girl Scouts wanted
Yes.
to do something, did that ever?
So, the meeting I wasn't here for last time, the Daisies were gonna do something and they were gonna reach out, I don't know where that stands.
Is that what Susan
Yeah,
did?
I followed up with her and she never responded again.
Okay, so they dropped that, that's fine, they're probably all wrapping up right now.
Yeah.
I had someone else reach out, the funny thing was, they were gonna help with a beach cleanup, and then that didn't work, they were gonna help with something else, and then it didn't work, pollinator pathway, and then I ended up, they're gonna do a cleanup of Gorham's Pond, because I'm also on that.
Friends of Gorham's
Yeah,
Pond.
Friends of Gorham's
Yeah.
Pond.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's happening this weekend, I'm overseeing those scouts do that. So, we'll just keep trying, but I don't know, I think it all depends on when they're available and what there is to do. We tried to get them to do the helping with help Juliet with the picking and it didn't work. I put together, we had talked about having a folder of all our stuff, so I started putting together this folder with tabs. I thought we could pass around and anybody could fill in, like, with baskets, if you wanna, there's stuff you want to print and put in the folder, that way it's there, all the contact information, everything is in there. Treasurer, same thing, I'll probably hand this over to you if you wanna, if there's anything else to add
No, I'm in
to it.
the process, actually, I'm trying to redo the treasurer's book.
Oh, okay.
Clean it all up.
So that's what this is, it's not anything, no great shakes, but I figured at least we have one central spot for all of our information that can be passed around and useful. We talked briefly about the Memorial Day Parade, and everybody saw the green team signage, and I thought that was so cool, but we had no idea, I had no idea what was gonna happen, our little name was on the thing. So I didn't
good.
know
I didn't-
if going forward, you said, we want a banner, or
Yeah.
want to get involved, I don't know.
I think we have time to figure that out.
We have time to
Yeah,
figure that
I'd love
out.
to know who organized that. I was at the parade and there was a banner that someone had homemade that said Darien Green Team. And then there were maybe 10 people marching in it with like a stick with a sign that said Garden Club, Beautification, etc. Because at first I saw it and I was thinking, oh, why weren't we included? Then I saw someone carrying the beautification sign.
Exactly.
So I don't know who
was,
organized it.
yeah.
I don't know either.
Why we didn't know about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, so I went to some recordings online to see if I could figure it out. And there
Oh.
is an email address, 06820mayparade@gmail.com. And it looks like maybe you can reach out, so I haven't done that, but,
Maybe the Monuments and Ceremonies group would have information on that.
yeah. And I don't know how much we want to do, I mean, I don't need to march in the parade, I mean, unless you guys want to, but, we could have a.
I could always march to town hall.
Yeah,
Registrar's office.
I
yeah,
just thought it'd be nice to
It's just
know if
cute.
someone's carrying our sign,
Yeah.
that's not us.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree,
I don't know.
yeah. We could throw flowers to people.
Yeah.
As we walk along. Anything else anybody wants to?
I have one quick thing with Melissa, or maybe perhaps if by the time of the next meeting, these other two interested people have finished their interview process and show up. How do we want to approach like the secretary job? Because I know it's always been a little ambiguous, like does anybody want to do this? I'm kind of thinking if we have, brand new members that, let's say it's just Melissa, or perhaps, there are 2 or 3 by the time we meet next. Do we want to be more direct in saying, and welcoming them and saying, this is our open position? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm guessing, Elizabeth, you don't want to be secretary for long, and you have so much seniority on this commission.
She's a much better reader.
I'm wondering how everyone feels about welcoming our new member and presenting them with,
I
this
remem-
is the
I
open
remember you
position.
mentioned that last time. I thought that was kind of a great idea, like to
Yeah.
say, welcoming, this is the position that we need to fill.
Yes.
The only thing is when I came on the commission and I felt like it was the first question, I was like, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You don't
So
know what-
I
yes.
feel like it's a little overwhelming for that
Give them
person
a
to
few
come
months.
in.
Uh-huh.
So I think if we keep resurfacing the top, much the same way I was like, okay, I can handle
Yeah.
that.
I came in
but
in
I feel like
November and I was
first-
secretary.
You don't really even know what
in
you're
December.
You don't know what you're
Exactly.
saying for,
Exactly.
yeah,
But we
Yeah.
can still put it out there and
Right.
then eventually.
yeah, absolutely.
I think that's great.
And I wanted to grab, you're doing a ton between Adopt a Gardens and social media, it's a ton of work. Are you, and vice chair, are you okay with that? Like, do you feel that you want to disperse a little bit? Like, how are you feeling?
Maybe when they come on, like maybe the Adopt a Garden piece, I don't know, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Once it's up and running and it's just program
Yeah.
maintenance, perhaps that.
Okay,
Especially maybe to Melissa, just from speaking to her a little bit about her background,
Yeah.
but
okay,
yeah, so maybe down the road in the fall.
okay, great. Yeah, so I just feel like if anybody wants to distribute, we
Yeah,
can.
or if
We
anyone
can
ever
continue.
feels like something's falling through the cracks, let me know, I don't have to.
No,
I
no,
wanna, like-
not at all, no, not at all, it's the
Great
opposite
job,
of,
yeah.
you're doing a great job, so,
Thank
yeah, so thank you.
Tell your husband you deserve a paycheck.
Anything else?
Meeting to adjourn?
Yes, would, would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Amanda. All right, we have a motion to adjourn. It is 11:35. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.